Today's guest is someone that I was really excited to sit down and chat with. She is a director for Mary Kay. If you have been living under a rock, Mary Kay is a skincare, makeup, health, wellness company that has been around for 60 years. I had the pleasure of chatting with Miss Vicki Jackson, a Louisville native. She gave me the opportunity to not only look at sales differently, but she definitely led me to a different perspective regarding Mary Kay sales, community, women supporting women, and maybe even gave me a little insight to how she gets to drive the well-known pink Cadillac. So exciting. So I can't wait for you to hear her side of the story, her journey with Mary Kay, how you could work with Mary Kay, and maybe just get a little insight, little words of wisdom. When you have those moments, I call them those burn it to the ground moments. She calls it a roller coaster. But get some of those words from Miss Vicki, how to get through those things and ways to maybe see things a little differently. Stay tuned and welcome Miss Vicki Jackson. I was so excited to see that someone from Mary Kay wants to give me the honor of having a conversation with them, because I can't even tell you how long Mary Kay has been a part of my life. And that just goes to show you how powerful, how just recognizable, and how strong the brand truly is to stand the test of time. I was in a networking group with a BNI networking group, and there was a lady there. I think her name was Bonita, maybe something like that. And she was local. She's a Mary Kay consultant. And when I was at this meeting, she took the time to talk all about Mary Kay, the OG Mary Kay herself, and gave us a little history lesson. For those listening that don't know the Mary Kay story, I highly, highly recommend you look into it because it is so powerful. So I want to start, Miss Vicki, with, how you got started, if Mary Kay's story, how she started, why she was doing what she was doing, resonated with you, and how that maybe led you to doing what you're doing today.
Okay, so actually her story, the main thing about her story that resonated with me was her belief. It was God first, family second, career third. That was the main thing. However, I lost my job in corporate America for not making my sales go. I think that's funny now, right?
Yeah.
And so I did not want to go back to corporate America. At the time, I was 53. And a few months later, I was going to be 54. I don't think I want to do that. So I just reached out to a lady at my church and said, hey, thinking about starting Mary Kay. And she said, oh, okay. So let me try the product. Being totally transparent, I tried, maybe 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And it broke me in. And so, no, can't do that. So it's that particular formula. So I said, if this works, we're going to sign up.
Right.
And it worked. So I ended up 9 years ago to be 10 in September. So that was the main reason, honestly. I just did not want to go back to corporate America. I wanted to have that freedom and flexibility and make money the way I wanted to do it, but following the Mary Kay rules of God first, family second, career third, as well as the golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you.
Yes, I love that. And I love that you not only took her principles and said, I want that to be a part of my life, but you actually tried the product to make sure you can get behind it. It wasn't just, I like their values, I resonate with the values. It was, I got to try this product, because so many people today, the influencers, brand ambassadors, they might just be in it for the money, and that's okay too, make money, but you tried the product. So do you remember what product you tried recently that did not break you out? Because that's a big thing. If you have sensitive skin, it's so hard to find a good product.
Well, Mary Kay's products are honestly designed for sensitive skin. They're dermatologist tested, and the product that I tried was called the Miracle Set.
Mhm.
And the Miracle Set had a cleanser, a daytime, now they call it daytime defender, and nighttime recovery, and an antioxidant moisturizer. So in my 9 years, they've changed the formula twice, actually.
Oh, gosh.
And it has been just amazing. Now, I'm not on that product anymore because I should have been on the other one first anyway, because it is called a repair set and it's to
Uh,
repair the aging. And
sure.
so that's what I'm currently on, is the repair set.
So as someone that, I have a very simple, I don't wear a lot of makeup, what I liked about Mary Kay when I tried it, when I was way back, young Ashley, is I felt like it was really easy to follow the steps. They have this is what you do first. And I even remember the set that I ordered had like a one, like it had a little one, and then it had a little two. And do you feel like this is a really good option for someone that's beginning, or does it evolve with you? Are there more, some people, they really get into the skincare and they want to know, I need a retinol, like I needed this, I needed that. For me, I just need basics. But do you feel like it evolves with, a user?
Absolutely. I feel like it evolves with everybody, from the basic of even a preteen
Mm-hmm.
until somebody that's 100 years old.
Yeah.
And what I love about it, it does have the steps, even in the bag or the box.
Yeah.
It'll have it. It's eventuated. This is what you use first, as well as instructions. So for a basic skincare, there's always going to be a cleanser and a moisturizer. That's what I call basic. It's just a cleanser and a moisturizer.
Right.
If people are wanting to have some extra, especially we're talking about anti-aging or we're talking about repair, that's when you start adding like the daytime defender, the nighttime recovery from the Miracle Set. Or if you're on the repair set, it has a serum as well as an eye cream.
Mm. Wow.
But we have it even for the teens. It's just basic with an exfoliator and a toner. And
Right.
And we have for men too. Let's not forget
Yes.
men.
So there's been a lot of rebranding, at least in the past 10 years that I've seen, because when I was reintroduced to this product, it looked very different than I remember. And so it feels like they're keeping up with, new packaging and new branding, and trying to make sure that a company that is as old as Mary Kay does not feel old when you're getting it, right? Do you feel the same way about them?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. We are on trend. The thing I love about Mary Kay is it's not so trendy that we forget about the basic things
Sure.
that work.
Yeah.
So it's 61 years. Mary Kay's been in business for 61 years, going on 62. Yeah. Hey,
Love that.
and I feel like we really touch everybody from, again, that preteen all the way up to over 100 years old.
I love that. So tell me about the parts, when people think you're a consultant for a makeup company, a skincare company, old school would be you're knocking on doors, right? You're ringing doorbells. Hey, let me come in and sell you something. But as time, evolves and sales evolves, one of the first things you said was, I wasn't doing well in sales. So you went to a different company and now you're doing sales. So do you feel like, what does the new sales process look like? How do you reach people, if it's not knocking on doors, which maybe people still do that. Maybe I'm crazy and I'm the introverted one that can't imagine that. But how do you reach people? How do people start getting introduced to this?
Okay, well, Mary Kay, we don't teach to knock on doors. How about that? With so many neighborhood associations, you couldn't do it anyway, right?
Right.
But what we do is, just like most businesses, referrals are key,
Sure.
right? Referrals are key. I was always taught that if you got that product on the face, you don't have to do a lot of sales because they automatically fall in love with it.
Yeah.
And then, of course, what did I tell you? That's what happened.
Yep.
So I do have a studio. I call it the Pink Spot. And that's where I'm sitting now. And people come in and they literally are trying skincare, or they're trying glam, or they're trying both.
Right.
And they do. They fall in love with the product.
Mm-hmm.
First, they fall in love with you. That's the other thing. They fall in love with you first, then they fall in love with the product. And so I feel like it's a heavy sales. So I would say referrals. I would say just going out and meeting somebody. If I saw you somewhere and you smiled, I'm on it. Oh, hello, Ashley. I wouldn't know your name, but I would ask for your name and I would just chat with you. Because what we don't know is who is looking for an amazing skincare. Who is looking for a company that has been in business for 61 years? So we're tried and true, right? And who is looking for somebody because their consultant doesn't do Mary Kay anymore.
Right.
So don't open our mouth, we don't receive.
Yeah, I love that. Do you have a studio? People don't feel, for someone that maybe doesn't want to have an at-home party, because that was how I was introduced. Was my friend was having a party and she said, "Hey, we're gonna have some stuff, come over, we'll have food." They had me at food, so I went over. But you don't have to do that. If someone's working with you, you have a studio, you have a space, a neutral space that people can come to, and they can schedule with you and try the products on neutral ground. Does that sound about right?
Absolutely. And that is why I did it. COVID changed things. COVID changed a lot of things. And we were working virtually, but even before that, I had a national sales director and she had a studio. So I was pretty much trained studio, as well as, of course, you do go to people's houses or you could have them in yours. Well, when you're walking around and you're meeting people and you really don't know them well, do you really want them in your house? For me, it's no.
Really.
I'm getting older. I can't run.
Right.
And so I decided that, I want to go back to what I had when I first started and what helped me to become successful. So the studio, and I love it. I love it. And so do my consultants.
Good. So people can schedule, we'll say a party at the Pink Spot and try this out, give something that maybe you thought, well, that's just for old people. Like, give the new brand, the new stuff a shot on a neutral ground. Is that something that they would schedule through you, or do you have a website?
Yes, both.
Oh, okay. Obviously, I'd like them to go right through you because you're.
Yes, absolutely. It just makes it so much easier. So I just give people my number or my email address and we schedule. I think that I had a lady, can I just give a quick testimony?
Absolutely.
So I had a lady that actually goes to my church and she saw my pink Cadillac and wanted to know whose it was. So one of the other ladies at church said, "This is who it is." And I went and introduced myself and she came Saturday. And she told me from the beginning, "I'm going to fix the income." That's what she said. "I'm going to fix the income. I'm not going to be doing this and some of the things that I need, blah, blah, blah." But I always encourage to try skincare first, no matter what. If you want just makeup, I'm going to encourage you to try skincare. And long story short, she left out with $350 worth of product that I did not harass her about. I did not. She was falling in love with that process. And one of the things she said was, "I'm loving this individual attention because she has a skin disease." And so it just made her feel special. Made her feel special. And we were here together about 2 hours, which at a party I wouldn't do, right? Because you have other people.
Sure.
But just addressing her needs, and she loved it and made her feel good. And she had tears in her eyes. And that's what this is about.
I love that. I think there's this shift in society and culture today where, people still order online and that's great, but the yearning, the want for personable connection, genuine, authentic relationships. And, you can watch a TikTok video, get some makeup ideas, and then go to a store and do it. But you're still kind of hoping that, hey, maybe they have the same kind of skin as me. Maybe they don't. But when you go through a consultant, you're getting that personable touch. And that's just such a special aspect of ordering through someone like you. Do you feel like that has always been a Mary Kay way? Or do you feel like it's just changed with society and the needs, as
I think it's always been the Mary Kay way.
Yeah.
Always been the Mary Kay way. Mary Kay designed this company to enrich women's lives, to empower women. And so it's always been. We even have a foundation that give back to. We've given back millions. Are you hearing me? Millions for cancer research for women as well as domestic violence. And so it's always been that type of company. And that is another thing that drew me in. A lot of people that are on my team love the sisterhood. If you ask them, what's your favorite thing about sisterhood? They don't say money.
Yeah. No.
They say the sisterhood. And
Yeah.
so I love that about it. I really, really do.
Yeah.
And I feel like Mary Kay has always wanted us to have that one-on-one. Even if it's at a party, you still have time afterwards. You meet with people one-on-one. We don't talk to people all at one time about what they want to purchase. We take them over to the side and we talk. And the difference you comment about getting things online and from other companies. What I love about us, we're also 100% money back guarantee. And where can you go? Right. So people go and they try all of these products and it doesn't work. And then it's just stacked up in your drawer, up in your drawer. You're throwing it away. Well, with Mary Kay, that's part of the consultation part. So I'm telling you, people cannot even hardly believe this, but I have had 2 people to return product from me. 2.
I mean, that tells you so much.
2, right? Because I want to make sure that I'm not just selling you. I want to make sure that you're satisfied.
It's going to work for you.
Yes.
Skin is a little different, and then your skin changes, as you get older. And sometimes you're in your 30s and you're watching TikTok videos of 20-something-year-olds thinking you're going to get the same result. So I love that money back guarantee. I mean, very little risk, because if it does work, you can get your money back.
Or we exchange your product.
Yeah,
and
find something else.
Yeah, they really like the exchange because they want something. They really are looking for something for their skin.
Oh, man, that's such good stuff. And, you touched on the pink Cadillac. I would be remiss if I did not ask about the pink Cadillac because, as a 90s girl, I grew up with Barbies, always had a pink Cadillac. I thought, what kind of job do I need for this pink Cadillac? And lo and behold, a few years later, I realized I'm seeing more pink Cadillacs. And on the side, it says Mary Kay. So people know the Cadillac. And was this a goal? When you sign on, do you say, obviously you want to do good in the world and you want to help people, but that pink Cadillac might have my name on it. Is that something that might have felt like a goal? And, how did it feel when you got there?
Okay. So when I came in Mary Kay, remember I had lost my job in corporate America. So my original goal was money.
Sure. Survival.
And a few months later, I also knew that being in leadership, becoming a director would basically triple my income. I would be able, because of things like cars and, not really having a car payment and
all sound inviting.
Taking care of. Absolutely. So I've always had a goal. And the main goal was money. Then it moved to, I need to be in leadership. Right. And then in leadership, it moved to, what do I want out of this that is more of a material thing?
Sure.
And that was that pink Cadillac. Yeah. It was the pink Cadillac along with the diamonds.
Yeah, it was.
Pink Cadillac and diamonds. That's what I wanted. I couldn't get that on any other job.
Right. No. And it's so recognizable. People know the pink Cadillac. And I think that speaks to the branding, but also speaks to all those consultants out there that are killing it and, driving around in that Cadillac. It is, whenever I see it, I think, dang, like she must be killing it because that pink Cadillac says everything. So congratulations. That's such a big success. Hey there, my little biz besties. It's Ashley Chamberlain, host of In Good Company and CEO of Chamberlain and Good Company, the virtual accounting firm that actually speaks human. If you're a business owner and you've ever found yourself staring at QuickBooks like it's a literal foreign language, wondering if your miscellaneous category is secretly plotting against you, this is for you. We just launched something new, a private Facebook group called Mind Your Business and Your Books. It's for business owners who want real answers, real support, maybe a little less panic when it comes to your books. We're talking QuickBooks help, tax tips, mindset shifts, because yes, money is mental, and a community that actually gets it. How rare, right? It's $30 for your first month because we believe in starting strong without breaking the bank. That's not what we're trying to do here. After that, the price goes up. We'll go live twice a month. We'll answer your questions that are submitted by you ahead of time. Search Mind Your Business and Your Books on Facebook, or just check the link in the show notes. Join us. Your spreadsheets and your sanity will thank you. You mentioned being a director. So if someone was listening to this and said, maybe they thought about what can I do at this time of my life to make some extra cash. Maybe I'm passionate about skincare, I'm passionate about makeup. I don't want a 9 to 5. What are some, I guess, things that if someone was interested in getting started as a consultant, would that be kind of the first
Yes.
level?
Yeah.
What are some things you would say to them when you're getting started that maybe they could do, or some tips and tricks, or, hey, this is what I thought it would be like, but it actually wasn't, so they could maybe get their feet wet with it?
Okay. So the first thing is I'm going to sit down and find out why.
Yeah.
Why do they really want to do this? And if it's for extra money, I'm honestly going to ask them, what would you use that extra money for?
Okay.
Because I have to get to the nitty gritty, as they used to say back in the day,
Yeah.
the nitty gritty, the nuts and bolts
Yeah.
of why you want to do it. Because what I found out is if I know why I want to do it, then I'm more likely to work hard to do that. If I don't know why I'm doing it, I'm just
Right.
kind of squirrel all over the place, and nothing works because I'm not really working.
Sure.
So that's my first step. It's why do you want to do it? I give them all the information right now. Like, it's only $35 to sign up.
Oh, that is one of the lowest
Yeah,
highs
right.
ever.
Exactly. I say, you go to Starbucks and spend that in a week.
Sure, right. Yeah. $35 to sign up to be a consultant. Okay.
Yes, absolutely. With a website, gives you a website. So why wouldn't you take that chance? So that's
Right.
the first thing I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just ask them, do they like their job? Because then I want to know, would you want to do this to work your way out of that job?
Yeah.
Or do you love your job, but you still just need some extra income?
Mm.
And then we're going to sit down and make a plan. If you say, oh my goodness, I could use an extra $500 a month, then I'm going to work a plan for you that's going to work in your schedule. We do a weekly plan sheet. When people say, too busy, I don't have time. It's 168 hours in a week. Then I can find some time to work Mary Kay. And so we'll add a weekly plan sheet. And we said, just jot down, and they realize, oh my gosh, I do have time to do this.
Make this happen.
Absolutely, because you can work it virtually, like what we're doing on Zoom. You can utilize social media.
Yeah.
You can have in person.
Yeah.
As well as you can just have people shop on the website.
Right.
So it's multiple ways of working it.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. I love that you don't just, I've seen a lot of, I don't even know what to call them, the network marketing, where people say, sign up under me, it's less than $100 to buy in, and then here's your goal, versus let me find a way to help you work this into your life where you're at right now, finding out their why. Because as a consumer, knowing that someone has a really strong why helps me feel like I'm purchasing from someone that is, really dedicated to themselves and has their own personal goals. They're not just it's not just about money. They might have so many other goals, and that feels more authentic, and especially because you're working with them. Because someone that's never done it might feel intimidated. How do I even do this? How do I get the Cadillac? Like, where do I go to get the Cadillac? So they can work with you. They'll be essentially under you. Is that how it would, they're kind of maybe not reporting, but, using you as kind of a resource when they're getting started?
My goal is to train, empower, encourage you to get to where you say you want to be. When I first, being totally transparent, when I first became a director, because I did it so quickly, I earned my car as a consultant. You can't earn the use of a car. And we stress that it's the use of a car, okay? So Right. So I earned the use of my first car when I was a consultant. And then the next month I actually became a director. And so that was in a year, within a year.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I was new, just new as a consultant, in my opinion, as well as new in leadership.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of mistakes.
Oh,
I made a lot of mistakes. Again, I came from corporate America. I had been a bank manager. So I had been in some management roles. And so it's a difference in managing and leading. And boy, was I the biggest manager out there, right? So now just transitioning and learning and growing on how to be more of a effective leader versus a manager. And so with that being said, that is why it's so important for people to know what they want, not what I want for them. Now, I might be able to see something in them that they don't see in themselves to encourage them to do that. But the goal is for ultimately for them to pick their goal and me help them to see themselves further.
Right.
Because this is just not just a money thing, a sisterhood thing, or any of that. It's a self-improvement thing. And that's what I have seen. I've seen self-improvement on appearance, self-improvement in confidence, self-improvement on interactions and communication. And so it changes lives. That's what it does. It changes lives.
Get little chill bumps.
Well, come on, it's $35.
I'm sold.
Yeah, we joke about that. I'm like, okay, do you have 3 10s and a 5? Do you have a 20 and 10 and
Make it work. We'll make it roll. I love that. You don't think about, when you're trying something new and you're going into this uncomfortable space, you think about all the things that can go wrong. You think about, what if I can't sell? I don't like sales. I hear so much speaking to small business owners, often I hear, I don't like sales, or sales are icky. I'm not good at sales. I hear that all the time. And, and I get it. Like, if you're not someone that's a natural leader or a natural conversationalist, it can feel very uncomfortable. And what you're saying is, just by doing it over and over and over, by doing something that's working towards the goal that you are setting yourself, you're going to improve on these other things without even really realizing it. You're going to get that confidence. You're going to be able to have a conversation. The term sales has now turned to just a conversation. And that shift in perspective, you'll start seeing the numbers grow. It really and truly is just something that I don't think people will think about when they think, well, maybe I could make some extra cash. It's like, well, maybe I can actually become a better leader. And that's so special. I just really wanted to highlight that because I know, a lot of people that listen in, they're just getting started, or they're trying to find a different way. They're trying to think, how do I get out of this job, or how can I start something for myself? So many other things come with signing on to Mary Kay. The use of a Cadillac could be in your future. We'll make sure we'll say that right.
Yes.
So talk to me about those moments that maybe things didn't go the way you thought, where you really had to pick yourself up. Maybe it was a low sales month. Maybe you were worried, like, should I keep doing this? Is this going to work out? And what's something that kind of helped you stay the course? Because, making enough sales to get the Cadillac, the use of the Cadillac is great. But I can imagine it wasn't always like that. So talk to me about that.
Absolutely. So actually, I had started in September of 2015.
Yeah.
By November, I was already there.
Yeah.
I was already there. It was the holidays, and everybody was talking about this is the best time of the year to have sales. And they had inventory. They had a lot of the products to be able to just do. And I was so in my head from going from zero, right, to Mary Kay, going, oh, well, what am I going to do? Nobody wants to do it.
Yeah.
For the holidays, I don't have the product, just whining. And so my husband I tell this story all the time because I think it's funny. My husband at the end of December, he waits till after Christmas, and he says, hey, babe, what you going to do? Are you going to work in Mary Kay business?
Yeah.
Or are you going back to corporate America? Or do I need to get a second job?
Mm.
And I always
Her
said,
husband, okay.
yes, he's
Options.
awesome. He's my biggest coach, my biggest cheerleader. And
Yeah.
oh no, you can't get a second job
Yeah.
because you already work second shift. I'll never see you.
Mm.
And then I said, I'm not going back to
Right.
corporate. So that
Harder-
can't happen.
Harder to go back.
I got to work Mary Kay. And I made that decision that first week in January. I went to what we call the January Jumpstart. And at the time, my national sales director, I'm going to give her a shout out. Her name was Julie Weaver. We just talking. I went to that Jumpstart. I said, oh, they have cars. What's the difference between them and myself? And the answer was nothing. It was their mind. It was their mindset to say that I could do it. They could do it. And so that's when from that January and by that November 1st, I was a director. I would say that first couple months was one.
Yeah.
Then I started building teams. We have something called red jackets.
Okay.
And that's when you have 3 or 4 people. You start off in red with 3 people on your team.
Okay.
And I had 4 by March. And it's like, oh, this is wonderful. And then things just started, personalities weren't meshing with other personalities or things like that. And it started going, oh my God, what is happening? So yes, I would say there's been several times during my career with Mary Kay that I call it the roller coaster, and especially in the head. And so what do I do to fix that head? I have some amazing coaches. I have some amazing mentors. My first one is my husband. But there's been other national sales directors because Julie has retired. And there's been other nationals that have truly, truly helped me. I'm going to shout them out because it's going to be shown. So, National Keita Pound, National Candy Lewis, National Kim Walker. There's just been some great ones. And that's what keeps me going and trying my best to stay out of my head. I did have an amazing year in 2020, where we in, I think it was 2022. And no, it was 23. I earned a trip to Barcelona, Spain.
Okay.
And that was my best year. And now it's like building back up and I'm thinking, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah.
Well, I helped to offspring some directors under me. And so that's what happened. They took their units and then I just kind of didn't work like I should have. Yeah. So what I always say is you can't make excuses because the ball is always in your court. And that's what I love about Mary Kay. I have the ability to make as much or as little as I want to. And I didn't have that in corporate America. Whatever they're going to pay me is what they're going to pay me. Yeah. Right? But this gives me the opportunity to say, you know what? I'm going to do this. So yes, you're always going to have ups and downs.
I love that. It sounds to me like mindset plays a huge role in any business professionals, anyone, when you're trying to do something. I've referred to the roller coaster moments as the burning it to the ground moments. I myself have had those so often. And I don't shy away from talking about it because it's like you said, it's if you don't get it out there, talk about it, reach out to your people, your mentors, it's going to take control in your head and you're going to think something's wrong with you. And really it's what can I do to get better? And I love that. So it sounds like Mary Kay has such a good community, mentors and people you can reach out to when you are feeling like, what can I do differently? What am I doing? It gets you out of your head. So often I see small business owners they think, well, I'm just not meant to be a business owner, or something's wrong with me and this other person is so much better, when it's just surrounding yourself with people that you admire and respect and can go to in those moments. And I think that's so special that Mary Kay provides that, kind of has it built into the system, if you will. So that's so special. I love that you shout out to your husband too, because I also hear people that don't have that kind of support. And, for someone that does have an extremely supportive husband, that's a very valuable relationship. So there's a partner in your life that, is the what are we doing kind of partner, not, I call it blind support, where they're like, everything you do is great. You're going to kill it. They're the ones that are like, what are we doing? And they put that back in your hands. And I think that's so special that you have that. And if anyone needs, that kind of support, there are several kinds of people, especially in the group that we met in, the community of people that'll lift you up, make you feel like you can do this. So I would love to just kind of bring this to a close as how can people find you? We mentioned there's a website, you love a conversation. You want to talk to people. That is your jam, because some people, I said, that sounds funny to even say it that way, because of course a conversation is the way to get to know people, but these days it's difficult. So reaching out to you, people can find you on Facebook.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
What other platforms are you on?
I'm on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
Those are my main two. I'll be honest, I don't do TikTok because you know why?
Yep.
Because if I get on there, I'm looking at other stuff instead of doing what I'm supposed to do. So I do that, but it's funny because Mary Kay gives you training on those platforms. I mean, there's no reason why you could not be successful in this. I'm telling you, it is no reason. Also, I have a website, and it's maryk.com/PickyVicky12. Picky Vicky. I'm picky. Oh boy, am I picky. Yes. Oh. And those picky and Vickies are with an N and a I, not a Y. Or anything. And then of course my phone number. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Reach out. We'll put some of that in the show notes too.
Okay.
Just to have a conversation, whether it's I need a new skincare routine or I want to try some makeup. Like I mentioned, I don't wear a lot of makeup, so I have a complete drawer full of things that 25-year-olds were wearing that I thought someone in their mid-30s could do. And then it sits in my drawer. So scheduling a party, trying new makeup, trying new skincare, or even wanting to dive in and do this fun use of a Cadillac show with you, then they can reach out, website, phone number, Facebook, Instagram. Any final last, I like to just end it with something that's inspiring, something that, to the new people out there, the people that are watching and saying, I think I could do this. I think I could take the step and work with Picky Vicky, maybe use of a Cadillac vehicle in my future. What would you say to them?
I would say it's just give it a try. Again, you spend $35 in Starbucks a week.
Yeah.
You go to Target and you go to the end of those clearance shelves. And what do? You went in to spend about 20 and you came out spending 120. And I always tell people, and then it's what? It's gone. It's gone. But this is something that could truly change your life. It could change your life. It could change your family's life, and it could change your community's life. Truly, it could do that. Will you fail sometimes? Yes. And Mary Kay was very clear about we fail forward. Because what I do know is when you fail at times, it helps you to grow, helps you to become stronger. So the main thing you will get out of this, you will be a better person. And when you're a better person, then you're a better person to your family as well as to your community. So give it a try. Remember what I said, 3 10s and a 5. Give it a try. Oh, that's something I do. I'm going to use that all the time. 3 10s and a 5. Give it a try. Yeah, so that's what I say. I'm here to help. I'm here to help and walk on that journey with you.
Beautiful.
With you.
I love that.
Teachable, coachable, and willing. And you can do this.
You got it. You got this. Well, I know that anyone that reaches out to you is going to be in very good hands. And I wish you so much luck and success and use of the Cadillac for the rest of your life. And anyone else that kind of has any questions, I will gladly lead you to Vicki. Thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. I'm just so appreciative for what you do. I do know a lot about the Mary Kay, kind of the mission and the giving back, and have myself given a lot to their domestic violence portion of it, because very near and dear to my heart. So just I'm grateful for what y'all are doing. And I just think it's great. My grandma was a Mary Kay specialist, as she would call it. And she used to tell me, never leave the house without lipsticks. Aw. It's how I just don't leave the house.
Well, you have to try one of our lip glosses that's neutral, and that will make you happy as well as your grandma.
Yes, Grandma Sally, she was killing it in Mary Kay games, so she raised me on Mary Kay. She did Avon for a little while, and she went right back to Mary Kay. So, it has been a part of my life for a very long time. And she always, when I would think about Mary Kay, I never thought sales because I was a kid and I just thought money appeared. But I also associated Mary Kay with friends because she would always have friends over. And, looking back, I think it was probably just because she was having parties to sell. But I always felt like my grandma was surrounded by, a group of women that were always happy. So I thought, wow, my grandma has a lot of friends and they're always so happy to come over and they always play makeup and dress up. And so I have a lot of fond memories from Mary Kay. And
it's one of the best sisterhoods ever. I'm an only child.
Yeah.
And when I say the sisterhood is amazing and something is going on in your life, people will post even things in a private group. And we have a private Facebook group. And they will post that this has happened to someone. Maybe their home is caught on fire or anything. And they'll put their Cash App or whatever, and we're giving. I mean, we send cards when people have deaths in the family. I mean, all over the U.S., you're going to get some cards. It's just amazing.
They just really rally. And I have so much respect for women that can get behind that and build a community for themselves. My grandma, and I was raised in northern Indiana near Wisconsin, Janesville. And so I felt like, man, these women in Wisconsin, like, they just love to get together. And I want that for my future. So Mary Kay has a lasting impression in my life for friendship and community. So I will definitely reach out if we need any of those links and put that in the show notes. But, always feel like you can reach out. I would love to come to the studio.
Please.
Yes. And so
we're in the final of our seminar year. Our seminar year ends June 30th. And
really?
I'm determined to get a bunch of faces in here. So I would love for you to come.
Yes, that would be so fun. I would love to try on some things and make grandma proud and maybe put some lip gloss on these naked lips. Maybe try some things because I have been using the same set for a very long time. Yeah, maybe it's time to shake it out.
So I would love for you. I would love for you to, that would make my day.
If I could do it all over again, there'd be no wish I would or should have been. Spend more time with my family and friends. If I could do it all over again, I'd wake up early and start my day, count my blessings and appreciate